scalping today. Have a thought that we might dip to 25.5, and I would like to take a long off of somewhere in this area, but my back testing has shown me that Mondays are kind of a choppy day, not a directional day. So, we're going to be scalping, and probably not holding. The robot that I've been working on will be ready for tomorrow through Friday. And Monday is a day where the edge doesn't really play out all that well. So we're going to skip it. But if we do see some entries, we're going to try to scalp them. Basically, we need about $200 today per account. That would be a great win. Free. 150 points would be a fantastic day per account. So that's 2, 3, 450 on the ticker. If you see 450 today, you know I'm feeling good. Hopefully we have a good day. It's been chopping this morning since 2, since London opened, and capped up on Sunday. Didn't drop the head one yet, but essentially it's going to be this figure right here. So we're going to draw a line over that, and we already have a all-time high left shoulder level, which is very interesting. And we're off. Bulls are buying that support in this range. We have a range from N1 to 555, basically. It's the top of the range, trying to break out of it, obviously. You can't understand me. Oh my gosh. So fucking annoying. Stream audio. Good morning. Is that better? Is this better? No more choppy. You know what I had? 2 audio sources going at the same time. Well, anyways, the Bulls just broke it out. So, cool. to start the day. That's what we're working on. Wouldn't hit my take profit, so just took it, but it's gay. Pretty upsetting. Bulls love it. Going back up. Still breaking up. Probably not going to get much higher than this range bar, I would think, but you never know. These probably fall into the middle of the range at 5555. Makes sense to me. How did I even take drawdown on that one? I don't even think I was in drawdown 1 minute. But it does show that I was in its equal amount of drawdown as I was profit. Didn't even go for the range low at all. They probably will soon though. Kind of squeezing off the open. Got a squeeze signal. narration. Going for all-time high. Just right there. Not too far. I'm gonna draw the end log while I have it. End log. 10, 9, 25. Is that the open? No. The open's up here. Move drawing. There we go. So big trend to start the day, start the week. Surprising. Not used to seeing trends in my bag testing on Monday, but no entries. The only entry that we had was early in the day, early in the Sunday trading, about right here at exactly 6 o'clock almost. And we'll see the support holding and then took off. We are running. Just won't quit. Going for that liquidity at 6:30, creeping up as we go. Can't believe this market. You can see the whole day so far. Gap up and pump up. Barcoding at the top. Really just holding price up here. I feel the pain in the market with these bears. Bulls haven't even let it drop to the EMA at all. Short-term EMA. Just taking the new shorts for a ride this morning. Alright, what to do? The 9 is in a weird spot. Could be getting a pullback here soon. Hard to do with the market running like this, to short this blindly. 9 is below the 9 is below some things that usually when that happens, it's kind of like pullback time. But just like yesterday, before it pulled back, it was doing the same thing on the upside. So maybe it'll just keep going. Crazy push up, and they're just kind of no pullbacks. If it did pull back, it's just kind of ranging here. Very tight trend. We haven't touched the EMA since this range bar got put in. What a silly run. Touch PSL. It's at 655. It's kind of a liquidity grab pattern there. Touch the range high. Whoa. Rejection. Working on a rejection candle. Bulls are trying to defend 25,600. Pretty strong selling. Might finally come tag that range bottom. Push back up. Starting to get a bit squeezy. Bulls have reclaimed their position. 604. And lost it again. It'd be cool if the Bulls just got wrecked first thing Monday morning. They're like, no, we're still bearish. hope you had your fun. Bulls are back over water. Right around break even. Right in the middle of the range. Probably heading back up to 637. Launch. There we go. It always goes back up there. Pretty much. EMA's kind of lagging behind. Straight back up. Nothing. Jeez. Stop getting to me. Come on. Just keep going. Just a little bit. All right. Another good trade. Thanks, baby. Crazy Bulls ran it up way higher than I expected it to, but still. Wish we would have been able to get one more push out of it. That would have been sweet. And we're squeezing. We are a squeezing. I don't think the shorts have it. Was my drawdown on that one? Yikes. 700. Yowza. That's alright. Scalping Monday on the stream. Seems like it could come down just fine. I'm expecting it to. Just won't do it. Bulls are buying up the EMA, trying to keep it up, but I guess stranger things have happened, but no entries. The Bulls have been playing keep away since open, essentially. Last entry I got was 2:30 on Friday, and then there's this one that happened, but it was gray. Meaning my robot wouldn't have took it, even if it wasn't a Monday or a Sunday. Which, in my testing, Monday and Sundays are losers for trends. And essentially what I've done is kind of turned myself into a swing trader. So when I'm not scalping, I'll be taking trades and holding them for quite a bit of time. I think the average hold times are like an hour in my testing. So that should be exciting. Swing trading. Who would have thought? We're still squeezing. Liquidity is at 683 and 572. So in here, that wick touched the top of the market lines. And it just kind of rode it the whole way and didn't touch it, and then pulled back and then touched it again. So maybe the idea is to ride it all the way up again. Just coming up with pattern ideas on the fly. Rather just see a pullback. Monday trends, gosh. You know, the funny thing about this Monday, though, is that I was actually in a long from Friday earlier. I can't remember where it was. But in essence, my system was looking for like 3.5 R at some point. And I'll try to find it. I think it was right here, 230. So I got it. I got long here, my system, and then I had to close it in this area because I was my brokers require it, and so it gapped up on a Sunday, and this is what you get. This is like the culmination of that trade down here, right here. This was the robot entry, and it was holding for more, but I had to close it because you can't hold over the weekend. So this is the long that my system would have gotten me in, and we would have been holding for a maximum profit, which I think would have already been demolished for sure. So we're still kind of riding that entry, so to speak. You know, there's a million other people that also took that long, and this is the reward phase of that. 0.6R. We get 0.6R a lot, don't we? It's always like that time of the day where I'm like, oh gosh, I just made almost 500 bucks. Then you don't want to take another trade for the rest of the day because you're trying to protect your capital. Really would like to see another 250 points. I would accept 75 points per account. So that would be like 225. Two contracts, 35 points apiece. Not bad. Might be able to do that before the end of the day. I spent the entire weekend bag testing and tuning, working on a swing trading system, and been trying to come up with some ways to keep me out of the bad trades. At this point, I think about less than 10% of the trades are problem trades. The trades that, there's certain cases where 13 losses in a row, 9 losses in a row, and those are killers. And I've been trying to come up with ways to keep me out of those days. It just so happens they're Mondays, or probably not. Actually, it was a Wednesday, but it's the outlier, So like you have data saying that your system doesn't work on Monday or Sunday, so you take those out of the equation. Very small amount of trades, anyways, but they were all losers or break evens. And then starting on Tuesday, the system starts paying, and then there's a period of time during the months of bag testing that all of a sudden your system just loses for 2 straight days. And I did a lot of work this weekend trying to figure out a way to filter out those kinds of trades, and made some progress here and there, but we got the 19 in a row losses down to 9 at some point this weekend. Pretty cool. Less trades taken, less risk taken, not much change on the profit, not much change on the expectancy. So we did pretty good. It is certainly a new experience, taking a trade and then holding it for 3.5R. Sometimes 3-4 hour long trades during the New York session. So that's what I see in my future. We're still squeezing up here, by the way. The bulls will not let this down in any way, and the BSL is pretty much right around 700. There we go, taking a dump. Bulls finally got the memo. almost got to the 9. Not quite, but we are on the bull's position line here. So this is under 620. Most of the bullish side of the market will be underwater. Can't bring it up over the range high again. They have not touched the range bottom since yesterday or Friday. So it has not been touched today, which is right here at 609. That blue line has not been touched since Friday. If you notice, look at the blue line. There's that entry. Not touched it since that moment, and we're just about there. Almost got it there, but didn't get it. Still squeezing, heading back up to the high of the range. Creeping and I'm creeping and I'm creeping. It's exactly the level we shorted earlier. FYI. What does this pattern look like? Looks like a robo flag. Algorithmic trading. So far, the shorts have been holding it down up here. Back to the bullish break-even point. They're underwater. Shorts got them to dump off a little bit. First touch of that range low, finally got it. Since 2:30 yesterday, right before I took that long. first time. It's crazy. So they're trying to imply that this is the right shoulder of a Head and Shoulders. That's what this is trying to imply. So let's see if we can spot one. Low shoulder support. There it is. Somewhere in here. Guess they're going to be using this one here. I knew there was going to be one. So if you see that pattern in the dip, it's exactly the same pattern as this one, except much larger. With instead of a pullback, we get a gap. Still squeezing. This thing is coiling up, that's for sure. Should be getting a big move either way. I guess it's probably long. The harmonic flow. The flow of the harmonics. Get your harmonic flow right here. Chopping. It's been chopping since pretty much open. And they pushed up a little bit, but it's just the range here. Let's see the dipped under it twice. Range bottom. But essentially we got a top here, bottom here. So when we are ranging, you know, the orange and the blue lines are become points of interest. We are ranging. So the top of the range would be the orange and the bottom of the range would be the blue. shorts are. Now the shorts are underwater. Tried to dump off twice and looks like the shorts dumped off. Well, it's kind of what you would expect on a Monday, because I said I've been backtesting my trend following system and it doesn't work on Mondays. So what do we get? 846 right here. You would think it's this nice big bullish trend forming, but in this case it's just been chopping in this range since open. 650 to 610, so like a 40-point range. You got little excursions over it, you got little excursions below it. Boring. Makes me suspicious of this bullishness in general. Because I do know the data shows that we don't run very often on Mondays. At least not until like swing trading targets. We don't run on Monday. And I replayed a few Sunday, Monday combos, and definitely a different style of trading these days for me. Trying to take scalps of the range. Probably get there someday. So you see the data, but sometimes it's hard to believe even when it's in black and white. After spending so much time trying to figure things out, and then to see something work, just like, how is this working? I don't trust it. Fall back into the range. Mondays are a day where actually the entries tend to fall through. It's like a whipsaw kind of range day, and in this case, it's not really whipping a lot, but it is ranging. I guess we'd had the whip up from 2 o'clock. London open. Monday, you would expect it to whip back through and then be like, all right, let's set up a short. All right, after we set up the short, let's rip it back up. Screw all those people. Then let's set up a long. Oh, the longs can't hold. Then it goes back down. That's kind of what I've been seeing on Mondays. Like, takes a couple of days to get the market situated with where it wants to go for the rest of the week. And Thursday and Friday are the best days. So in my system, the capital preservation, it's actually capital preservation Mondays instead of capital preservation Fridays. Fridays are actually the best day. Pretty interesting. It's pretty incredible when you see your entries just being respected by the market. Like your entries are like mathematically precise. Oh. It's like, okay, you don't often see your position getting run back to break even, but when it does, it hits your position and then bounces. It's like pristine, mathematically perfect, almost. When you're in some of these entries, you can tell that the institutions and 95% of the other people in the market are doing the exact same thing. The winners. It's incredible. But today's not that day. A lot of times on Mondays, those entries show up and then they get whipsawed. Turns out that it's like a breakout in the other direction. Right at the entry point. It just falls right through. In this case, we're up at the opening range high, and a lot of times it takes a run at it and you can't get it, and then takes off back down. We're in squeeze territory, so the market is ready for a big move. I'm doubting the bulls right now. If my testing has been any indication that some kind of bull failure is going to occur. Wouldn't even get a short signal up here at all. So we're in bullish territory. VWAP is pointing pretty furiously up, and it's right around 570 on my chart. Still squeezing. bulls have the most to lose here. Looks like their liquidity is inside the market, and the bearish liquidity is outside of price. Yeah, it's actually true. You know, Mondays, Sundays, and Mondays are basically no trade days for me, and so I'm gonna be following my scalping system, or just gonna be scalping it on the first part of the week, and then you know, Tuesdays and Wednesdays aren't great trend days either, but they're at least profitable trend days. So Tuesdays are usually more profitable than Wednesdays, but they're both pretty profitable. I haven't done a lot of in-person watching of it. You know, I've been mainly just running tests that I don't get to see. So it should be interesting to see if I can make a difference as far as being like, no, that doesn't look like a good long, even though the entry's there. You know, maybe not be expecting a 3.5 R on a trade with one contract. You know, I'm hauling off with one contract on my system in the past while. I think my one of my largest trades is close to 700 points on one contract. So that's the kind of thing I've been in. Looking forward to that. There was a day on September 25th and 26th was where the trend system took like 11, 13 to a 9 losses in a row, and it was one of these days where it would just like whipsaw back and forth right through the entries, set up a short, and then wreck the shorts, and then it would set up a long, and then wreck the longs, and then do it over and over and over again. So it was kind of a indecisive day where the market didn't know what it was doing, and tried to come up with a filter to kill those days, but wasn't tremendously successful. I ended up with a circuit breaker for 3 consecutive losses. Shut it down until midnight. That didn't even work because the next day it did it again. Once it resetted it, then there was another day of just wiping out the entries. So I ended up with 9 consecutive losses, even with a 3 loss in a row circuit breaker. And it's pretty silly. But, you know, we're spending a lot of work on the 10% of trades that don't work. If one contract is about $5,000 in profit over a period of time. So we're going to try to scale that with maybe some larger account sizes, because the max drawdown is about $700. It's not too bad on a system that's hauling off $1,500 trades. So in general, the risk reward is 1 to 3.5 on the system. That's pretty good. That's pretty good R right there. Did a bunch of testing to see that if I could make money, if I would take the winners at 2R instead, and I did. Did runs for 1R, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5R, and 3.5R. Holding for 3.5R actually is makes the most profit. It's pretty insane. And there are even times where you're in hundreds of points of profit, and it retraces all the way back to break even and stops you out. It sucks. Because there's those times where you're like, oh, well, if I was in that situation, I would just cut it. And be like, well, how many times are you going to do that? And it's just going to keep running to your 3.5R target. You know? Sometimes you just have to take a break-even trade. It sucks. But, you know, if you're going to cut them all, then you're never going to get your 3.5R. Just gotta kind of set it and forget it. Leave it alone. So they're attacking the bulls right now. They're on the low of the range. Bulls are underwater. Shorts are in control. It's Capital Preservation Monday here on Alpha Prime. We are expecting a range day, and we're getting a range day. Isn't that something? We are still squeezed, so the market is trying to take it into a direction, but they can't. The ranging, the bulls and the bears haven't decided yet for the week. That's my perspective, coming from tuning a swing trading system this weekend. Just feel like the first day of the week is the initial positioning, and then the payoff comes later in the week. fact, this system is kind of boring. You know? There'll be times where I get into a trade in the morning and start the stream holding for profit. And I'm not even sure that it's going to be good content, really. So I might just keep scalping, trying to make that work, and run this system on a server in Chicago with a larger account size to withstand more drawdown. You know, I prefer to scalp with 25K counts. And in this case, if I had like 150,000 account, I could just set it and forget it. You know, like take drawdown, take losses. Who cares? As long as you test with the scaling of the contracts and your max drawdown doesn't go past a certain point, you have certain things like the circuit breaker that I coded, and I have a max daily loss limit built into it. So if it loses over $300, it just stops trading for the day. And so I set up a server in Chicago and put Sierra charts on it and run my system and forget about it. And then we'll just keep scalping. And me and Scrappy on the stream, maybe check in on the robot here and there during the stream. But I think that's kind of what I've been planning on doing. And then we'll just have like a money printer in the background while we figure out how to do this scalping thing every day. Because essentially all the thing needs is just time. It's pretty exciting stuff. Still kind of squeezing, and the bulls are underwater. This whole range, all this buying in the range is underwater now. I had a feeling it would go down because like you think Monday's a range day and it's figuring itself out, then all of this crap is obviously going to get run. And sure enough, here comes the first Monday screw job. Everybody's like, what? What do you mean? I was buying at the bottom of the range. Why can't I profit? Yep. Gotta do your back testing. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna have a break. That's exactly what I'm talking about. All the bullish entries just get run through like that, and then they'll set up this short down here, and then they'll freaking whip it back up. You know, that is Monday for you. And they already tested this NWOG twice this morning. Right here. 8:15 and one right off of open. We're down here again. So just imagine, you know, us buying supports here, expecting 3R, and then just getting ripped through. That's kind of why Mondays are not profitable. It might turn out to be a good scalping day, though. Now that I know, you know, and the more that you know, knowing is half the battle, right? Like I wouldn't be selling down here. I feel like the shorts are just gonna get immediately wrecked right here. Straight back up. We already have a bottom manipulation down here. Just triggered. Whoop-de-doo. Just flashing. Flashing some manipulation. That makes sense. So all it is manipulation these days. Right under VWAP. I'm so sure. VWAP is flat as a board now after the pump from Sunday. Remember when I said it was pointed up pretty furiously earlier, and since this range occurred after open and this dump, now we are flat as a board. And it's kind of the feature where VWAP will flip up and down a few times on Monday. So like here's the first screw job of the day where the bulls get ripped through, and now we've had a structure change of sorts where those wicks above the 9 above the market just got run through, and you know, now we're trying to set up this massive short. Sure. Touching that NWOG again. I mean, I'm just guessing, but This is like where you would buy on these days. You never know when it's going to stop, though, really. You see any range bars earlier in the day? I don't really see many. Oh, of course. First candle. First candle is a range bar, so that, I don't know why I didn't think about that earlier, but duh. So we might actually get more on the short side, because you'd expect the orange line and the blue line to kind of line up on this candle at some point today, so that would require more down. Bull's trying to start a trend off of a range bar. They're just getting wrecked, and that is literally what happens on Monday, They try to start trends on both sides, and then both sides get wrecked. Then eventually it'll find a direction, and then that's how you find the trends for the rest of the week. So the bulls got wrecked today. I'm not even saying that the shorts got wrecked really already. I guess it's just this run right here. What did it look like? They couldn't even grab liquidity. Did not grab it. So obviously they would go to the downside, and they did grab it. Liquidity is at 511, so they're currently trying to bounce it where they got stopped. Which makes sense. It's right on open now. Near open. So the range bottom is falling quite steadily, but the range high is not. And you would expect that a bit because, that's where the shorts are. Pretend like this is the line where the shorts are holding. And so if the bulls bring it down to the bottom, that means they bought a lot and the shorts didn't buy a lot. So then you would expect a big whipsaw up to fuck with the shorts. And most likely it'll have been put down to the range by that time. It's halfway there. We just crushed the opening range low too, so I'm definitely going to curl back up there to touch the bottom of that range. But how long is it going to go down before it does that? I'm not sure. And I don't care. Yeah, so you can see you were saying it's a pump and dump. Yeah, I mean that's the Monday routine. One side sets up and gets wrecked, and then the other side sets up and gets wrecked, and then after that, it's kind of more clear, I guess, for the institutional traders. Just like, oh, analyzing the wreckage this morning, decided that we're going to be going up. What was the liquidity from yesterday? Friday, I mean. just looking beautiful. I'd love to see that huge red dump off. Man, it's so cool. This is one of those bounce don't kind of deals. The whole way, just triggering the order book, as they always do, and then eventually it'll find a bottom. When's the last time we had something like that? Thursday at 2. This one, which ended up being a higher low kind of deal to go up, but it failed. Even had a short entry off of it. Right on the gap, future gap. Remember that trade I was in Friday? Jeez, man. Short right here. Dumped it for like 20 points. Those are the 3 R's I'm talking about. But now we got data showing that it actually does do that, so. Banging up on the range bottom. See it take a tumble from here, but got a nice wick going. So there's a bottom manipulation at 550, which is right around VWAP. Could certainly be taken. It's kind of a feature of the bottom manipulation. Eventually it will end up at the breakout point. Whether the breakout point gets the price or price gets to the breakout point, it always does hit it. They did reclaim the range bottom. That's where the bulls are trying to defend the SSL down at 475. Or BSL, sorry. And it just turned it into a range doji so far. Got 31 seconds. They're trying to pretend like they found the range bottom support, but not the way that doji looks. I'd like to see the bulls bottom being tested at 470 or deeper after this disaster of a candle. Closed doji style. Of course, they try to break the top of it right off the bat. And they could do it. could send it up. VWAP is, we're in bearish territory now. Do. Looks like 538, 539 will get hit. Probably looking for 540s. 550 is where the SSL is right now. Trying to push the top off. Linear regression. Wild swing. Pump and dump and pump. Monday price action. Am I right? This is just a new range that the market is printed below the opening range opening range low, so expect to see some ranging down here now. What I love to do. I don't know. Probably short it now. But this is the spot where bulls can bring it up. Two, unfortunately. Might be looking for 560. Breakout point is this NWAG, it looks like. knowledge to have about the days of the market in general. And I'm not sure if it's, holds over 10 years, but just in the past few months of data, Monday's been like this. Makes sense. Kind of just have a nice range fight on Monday. Decide the direction for the rest of the week. Makes perfect sense to me. Well, we brought our win streak up to 12. I don't know how we're going to beat that one. Woo! Falling into another range. Too bad at all. The Bulls can't hold this up, so might end up going to the lows. They are just trading a range again. Here to here. We're definitely going to go to the lows. And the bottom manipulation flashed, but didn't quite get one just yet. 525 is the breakout point, which is the NWAG. Bull's position is 487. So if you're long above that, it should be in profit. Looking for a breakout of the NWAG. October 27th. Come on. And a big old wick to the left. That's going to be hard to overcome, but the Bulls are trying to go for it. Got a big old pump candle on the short-term chart. Currently just making about a range, another range candle, and you got 15 seconds left at the close on it. So make it a hammer or it closes a doji again. Got a doji. 3 dojis in a row. Think we might be ranging. too much on the downside right now, but stranger things have happened. It does actually look kind of heavy. I could easily push this down at 470. But yeah, most likely it probably bounced there. Definitely gonna want to hold this level here. It's an important level for the bulls in the range at 495. Be surprised if we got another leg down. But if we do, you know, that's kind of cool because it means it might be a down week. I really don't care who wins. I just know that Monday is kind of a day where they figure things out. And if the Bears get 2 legs, then that means we're going to have a bearish week. What does the daily look like? Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I could see another bear day. Put in this big wick. Still got a lot of wickage to test all the way down to 24,153. Most likely it'll probably try to break out at least 26,000 somewhere. Be surprised if it didn't try to. Big dump off to the bottom of the range, and this is right where the bulls are buying. 488. I could buy it here for a range play back up to the breakout point. Because the bulls just failed, and then they bounced it. So you figure that the bulls are now in control, because on the whipsaw days, just changes hands. Like the bulls were seemingly in control up here, and they just got run through. So the shorts won that one, and now the bulls bounced it. So we can just range here, and then the shorts will get wrecked. I mean, it looks pretty gnarly, but looks like they're trying to bounce in on the short-term chart. I wouldn't be shorting it. It's just what they want you to do. Well, it looks like it could fall. Capital Preservation Monday, everyone. We usually get wrecked on Friday, so that's a trend following day. That makes sense. Don't scalp on Fridays. Scalp on Mondays. mindset these days. Learned a lot. I know it's hard to buy this, but it looks like it looks so fine to me. But we're gonna be just watching a lot these days. Now that we understand the dynamics about it, we're gonna watch it with a fresh pair of eyes. We know some things that we didn't know about it before, so it'd be a lot easier to take trades that don't look good on Mondays. So you're expecting a whipsaw. Screw job Monday. So right now it looks terrible, but the Bulls are trying to bounce it in the right spot. You don't really understand that by looking at the 5 minute. Freaking landscapers again. You know what I find pretty nuts is this candle right here at 6:05 exactly. After opening it gapped up and tried to come back in to the gap, and then it found support on the all-time high left shoulder and not the end walk. It's very interesting to me that this is the level that it bounced off of, and it didn't end up being able to hit the end walk. Very interesting. I sure would appreciate those. If you're lurking, to move your thumbs over the thumbs up button for me. As many likes as I can get would really help out. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your family, tell your wife, tell your husband. Come on the stream and give me some likes. Thank you. just saw The Office. Looks like the official channel runs like a streaming TV show where they just play random offices or random episodes on YouTube. Non-stop. Live. Non-stop laughter is the stream. Started streaming November 1st, so it looks like just kind of a office marathon channel on YouTube. It's pretty cool. Been looking for that. Well, I'm going to sign off and Start tuning my system this morning. Get some more back testing done. Get some more coding. A good day. $450. And expect this to range for a little bit. Pretend like it's going to take off for a short, and then expect it to wreck all the shorts, and then go back up, and then do the same thing until I figure out a direction for the rest of the week. So, thanks. You too, Catherine the Great. I'm done trading. I got other stuff to do. I'm not going to sit here and be quiet looking for scraps. So, focus my time on something more important. Capital Preservation Monday, exactly, and that it really is my new mantra. So that the days on Friday where I was too cautious, they are now Mondays for me. Which makes sense. Mondays suck. All right, we'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 Central. Before you leave, slap a like on there if you're not already subscribed. And we'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace out.